Good morning, rise and shine. It is, what an adventure this is for me. And maybe I should rename this the Rise and Shine Adventure together. It is beautiful this morning. I haven't turned my camera around in a few days for y'all. I realized, wow, just the lake. I love water because it's such a mirror. It's not unlike our brains and our thoughts, like ourselves. We mirror the world. That could be a whole nother topic for another day. Maybe it will be. But I think that's why we connect with water. Like, in that we can't really explain it, but most people, I think, when you see water, there's just something about it that, yeah, soothes the soul, or that you identify with. Anyway, finishing the book of Nehemiah. Oh, when I have this tone of voice, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again, people. But this is how people are. This is how we are. It's how I am, how you are, everything. And the word that the Lord just gave me, I actually pulled up here. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about the word or the theme, but it came to me pretty quickly. And it was complacency. Yes. Oh, it's an interesting thing. And how quickly it can set in and we don't even know it. And then we're way off course, and then we're like, what happened? Oh, complacency. It's that thing that happened, like when you are so sure that you've got something and you're on autopilot, and you and then maybe one day you let something slide. You're like, it's okay. I'll do that in a couple of days, or tomorrow I'll get back. And then before you know, and then the next day, maybe you don't get back on track, and maybe you eventually let maybe another thing slide a little, and then before you know it, you're like, what's happening? What is happening? I was doing so good. And then bam, life happened, and I got totally sideswiped, and now I'm over here laying in the ditch going, what happened? I had it. I was what? Yeah, that's what complacency can do. And that is what happened to the people of Judah and Jerusalem. So Nehemiah, they rebuild the wall. He's such a great leader. They even have this grand ceremony. He reinstates the Levites in their positions, the choir. He has singers, everything back the way David had it. Things set up, he had everybody organized. He had the book of the law read, not only read but interpreted. He had the people, the Levites, come in and not only read it, but also interpret it and teach it. Okay, I read this to you, but here's what it means. And people were like, yep, I get it. We know what we need to do. We get it. We know what we need to do and why we need to do it. And they were like, yeah, we got it. We got it. All the practices, everything was running smoothly. With Nehemiah in charge, people kind of understood what the rules of the game were of life, what it meant to be a follower of the Lord, what he wanted, how things would all work together, how they would work together, smooth running sort of society when things are going well. And to go back to the way we used the analogy yesterday of the self and the selves, and our feelings and our emotions, when we're doing the things that we know we're supposed to be doing, we've got good self-care, we're getting good sleep, we're acknowledging even the parts of us that are, not so good, but we're not letting them take over. We're still keeping ourselves headed in the right direction. We've got good, integrity, self-leadership, all the cylinders are running together, and things hum, and life hums along. yeah, and then it's when you let some of these other things, but then Nehemiah says, okay, we got it here. I need to go back to Babylon and report and do whatever I need to do because I'm still the king's cupbearer. He was not the king of Jerusalem. He was just a leader for a time, a governor for a time. So he leaves, and they all are like, well, he was like a parent, like when you have that moment with your kids and you're like, okay, you guys get it? You know what you're supposed to do? This is how we're supposed to behave. These are your chores. These are and you put all the things in place. And then you're like, okay, cool. Everybody's got it. And then you turn your back for 1 minute and you let loose of the daily habits that keep the family running and keep the kids on track. And then the kids are like, cool. Like, oh, wow, mom's not watching me today, or she's not checking my chore list, or, whatever is happening. And then mom comes back or the dad comes back and you're like, I turned my back for 1 minute. Look what you did. The rooms are messy. They're, staying up too late. They're eating snacks in bed. Like, it's mayhem. And they're like, and he's like a parent coming back and going, what did you not understand? What did you not understand? It was very clear. You all told me you understood. We had all of this in place, and look what you're doing. And they were like, well, I mean, it didn't seem that bad. Like obviously they didn't get it. Or their hearts weren't fully in it. They maybe wanted to make dad happy, but maybe they weren't really getting the higher, bigger picture of their character development because they're immature. And maybe that's what was happening with the people of Judah and Jerusalem. Their hearts weren't completely in it. They were like for Nehemiah, and they were like, yeah, as long as Nehemiah was there and watching and kept them inspired, they were like, yeah. But as soon as he left, it was like, well, I don't know. Is working on the Sabbath really that bad? Do we really need to give the Levites all of this food and these tithes? Is it really important that, we hear the choir every day and that the choir gets to keep singing? Maybe they should work too. Maybe the other people judged what they were doing is not really all that useful because they didn't get the bigger picture. And then people, even the Levites, started marrying these other people again to the point that they said even their children didn't know how to speak their native tongue. They were speaking the land of the foreigners. So you can imagine, Nia just comes and he's like on a rampage. He's like, what in the, what is going on? They gave a room to somebody in the temple that wasn't a Levite. He was even from the family of oh no, that's not right. I was going to say from Sanballat, but that was somebody else that married his daughter. Anyway, trying to keep it all straight. I think I'm doing a pretty good job for just a average old girl reading the Bible for the first time, don't you think? I think so. Let me show you again. The sun's behind the clouds, but still beautiful. It's going to be 70 here today, but it's not quite yet. But I wanted to, I didn't have my gloves on. It's deceiving when you know it's going to be 70. But it's not early in the morning. Wow, it's so beautiful. So, and wherever you are, whether you're listening to this or seeing this, maybe take a moment and pause and look outside to nature. Remind yourself that God's got all of this in control. There's something greater than you controlling all of this. And there is an order and a system to things. And when you're doing things in the right order for the right reasons, the rest of life kind of falls into place. When we start taking back control or giving, the voices in our head that we talked about yesterday with our emotions and we give those parts of us the driver's seat, and we don't have good self-leadership, and we're letting the fear parts of us, whatever, take over, then we get way off track, as we can see demonstrated by this situation that Nehemiah returns to. So we need good self-leadership. We need to know why we're doing what we're doing, what we're doing, why we're doing what we're doing, and then, being, honoring that, because we know, but yet we, just like the people of Israel, we just don't get it. And then we get it, and then we fall back off track. But this is what complacency can do. When you think you've got it, and then you let go of some of your foundation and the things that make life run smoothly. Do you have a calendar? Do you spend some quiet time meditating? Do you eat nourishing food? Do you get good sleep? Are you doing the things to take care of yourself? Do you journal? Do you acknowledge these parts of yourself? Like, if you don't journal or you're not reflective at all, how are you honoring those parts of yourself that need to be honored or heard or validated? Because if you don't, if you just stuff it, ignore it, deny it, it will take over. As soon as you take your hands off the wheel a little bit, they will take over. And then you're way off course. Complacency sets in. The voices start telling you, oh, it's not really that bad. We're fine if we don't, do whatever this is for a week. And it doesn't mean that at times that you're not going to wane, because you don't want your life or your schedule or these good, quote unquote, good habits to feel like a dictator, or that it becomes so like rigid that you're like, that you don't have breathing room. And I think that's what some people do. So there's a real balance and an art to a life lived well, and quote unquote balance. And it is not way over here being so rigid and inflexible that you can't be human. And it's not so loosey-goosey over here where, the wheels just fall off and you're not taking care of yourself. You've got to really take the time on a regular basis to make sure you're because you're only as good to other people and your community and even yourself to the degree that you're like taking care of yourself. And that means knowing, and we've talked about this in lots of different ways over the past couple of months, but knowing that our brain will get complacent. So we've got to put some guardrails and practices in place that are foundational, that keep our walls, healthy and from crumbling. Just like you would maintain a home or a car, you've got to do the same thing for yourself. And how many humans do this? And do we even teach it to our kids? Like, no, we're so focused on, money and having a roof and working, and all of those things are important. I'm not downplaying any of those. But in order to do all of those well, you've got to be a healthy human being. Not just a healthy human doing, not just a human doing. A human doing is not necessarily healthy if that's all you're focused on. So complacency. So how did this happen? I think I'm probably talked long enough today. I think y'all are probably picking up what I'm putting down. And if anybody out there is listening and you're a parent, you completely understand. But, Nehemiah comes home, gets things right back in order, and, gets people back on track. But that's how easily it can happen. And he understood. And because God understood, he's like, I created you. these are my rules. Now, of course, those of us now in modern times, we have the New Testament and understand that it's really the heart that he's after. And a few of these leaders got that, but the people in general just weren't getting it. But there are things, and so even when we look at us as the self, there are parts of us that aren't getting it. So, and maybe the reason they're not getting it is because they're not being fully acknowledged, or they're being acknowledged so much that they're the ones driving your life, that you've put them in the driver's seat rather than just dealing with that part of yourself in an appropriate way. So there's a balance, and it's not easy, and it does take time, but it is so worth it. When you take the time to be a reflective human being of impact, of really focused on doing this life thing well, we've only got one. It's a gift. We actually create more time, more meaning, all of the things that we're actually looking for by doing all the other things. This is where it's at. But for some, it's just like, I don't have time for that. I'm telling you, you don't not have time for it. If you want to live a really quality, meaningful life that you're excited, like me, to wake up every day. And this doesn't mean that I don't get complacent. Believe me, I do. It's a growth process. I get it right some days and then I fall back or get off track for a month or two. But because I know the importance of it, I'm very good at catching it now. And I don't lose years and decades now. I lose maybe days or weeks. And that will only get better as I grow and mature and become more integrated and really put guardrails up around complacency and just thinking I've got it. Like the minute you think you've got anything, you don't got it. Like that is right there, a red flag. Anyway, I hope you have a great day today. Rise and shine. Take the day. And if you've gotten complacent in some areas of your life, let's talk about it.